morning. Welcome to Peak Stitching here in Estes Park. I'm Debbie and Lesta is on camera, and I've got a lot to talk about, so I'm going to try to go somewhat fast and slow at the same time. Let's see how I do this. So we have a shelf that we set up with the staff's picks of their favorite tools. They were allowed to pick more than one. So I'm going to just go over a few things. So in case you people at home would like to a little closer look at it, we have a needle gauge, and what this does is you slide your needle in it to determine what size needle you have, because they do wear off, the numbers that they put on them. We have a spray bottle that Barb likes because she likes the continual spray. Best Press, as I say, the name says it all. We have the Flying Geese ruler. It helps make your rulers or your geese points perfect, and everything comes out a lot better. The hexagon tool, one of my favorites because of the way you can use it to fussy cut or just have fun with your other fabrics. Knitting the USA, love these little beanies. This is what Susan's saying, and she says it's so easy peasy at the end of it. Catherine likes the block builder cards because it helps you be creative. Pam likes the Miori because it helps you be organized. Then we have the Knitting the National Park. Lesta likes this one. Well, I should make Lesta read this one, but I bet she won't because it represents our Rocky Mountains, and it really does. We should talk about that someday. Then we have our National Park Knitting Book by Frances. Fun, has all of our parks in it. And then we have our knitting chart, and Frances likes this one because it holds your patterns in place, and it's so much easier to read when you have it straight in front of you instead of laying on the couch. Leslie likes the Shannon Cuddle Kit because it's got hummingbirds on it, first of all, because she loves hummingbirds, and the colors purples and teals in it, and because it's got the Shannon Minky. And then Catherine we all like the Stripology square ruler, but Catherine grabbed it first, so she got a claim liking it. You guys know why we love that, because it's quick, fast to cut your cutting time down. And the Olisa mini iron, I love it because it's hot, and the size, it's bigger than the minis. Whew, how'd I do? Let's come on over here, and I want to show you what we're going to work on today. But before I do, I got a couple more things to say. We're starting our sit and stitch, so if you're in the area and you want to come up and sew with us on Thursdays starting at 10:30, you bring your projects, you have the classroom space to lay out, bring a friend, bring 5 friends, have fun, and it's a great way to get together. But on the 18th, I'm going to do a demo. So I did the Cozy Bowls last week. I'm going to demo that in person. So if you're up here, come on by. We're going to have a little party. We're going to have show and tell. And then starting in January, every Thursday from January, every 4th Thursday, January through October, the 4th Thursday of the month, there will be a demo and show and tell time, so you can get together and you can see what everybody's working on. We're trying to build this, so please bring somebody. So, we've tried this before, and we get 1 or 2 people in. And I think if we start doing the demos, we might get a few more people in. So come join us, and we'll make fun. And we'll have a community together. So today I am going to be demoing the Creative Grids non-slip multi-sized curve ruler. I don't know if that's a good angle for Lester or not, but you can see that there's 3 different size curves. So a lot of times we just use a bowl or a cup on it. The advantage to this, I'm going to come over to you, Lester, you can stay there, is that you have flat sides on the ruler. So, if you're using a bowl or cup, you have to come in there and you have to just estimate where that circle's really coming around. With this one here, I come in and I can put my fingers right here and feel the edge of the quilt and know that this is the correct curve of it right here. So I am going to use the mini cutter to cut it. And I did find an issue with the fact that I did not quilt heavy enough. So you might want to quilt a little heavier. These are great for pot holders, table runners, baby quilt, baby bibs, regular quilts. I missed the corner over here. So I'm doing the biggest curve first. And wait till I show you how easy the binding is to put on. It's actually easier and less bulk to do this. This is the tightest one. This is a 1.5 inch radius corner here. And it just really takes off that corner. And this one here is a 2 inch rounded corner. Whoops, sorry. This is Creative Grids, and it won't slip if I put my hands in the right place. And I was not lined up here is why that came off more. Yes, I can actually see where I missed that. But I'm standing at a funny angle here. And then you have the 90-degree angle in case you want to work on a straight corner and straighten them up. You do need to cut your blocks square before using the corner tool because, again, you need it square in order to use the flat edges to line it up with on there. So before I take you, this is the tight edged one. So that's the 1.5 radius. So a pot holder, and notice that there's no bulk on it. So you don't have the bulky corners on your binding there. So before I take you, I'm kind of jumping around on the steps that I'm going to show you because once I get over to the sew machine, I don't want to make you sick by moving around constantly. So to start with, I sew it on. I'm going to do a 1/4 inch around. As you can tell, I'm not perfect. And then you're going to flip it over to the top. And you see how it's pulling in here in the corners right here? You want to make sure that you push those down and make sure you're pulling your binding tight enough on the back side too. And then you're just going to lay it over, start in the middle, and then just lay it over. And then you can just stitch it down. So I'm going to have Lesta come over here now to show you how I went around the corner with no pins. I'm doing it on one foot, so I'm be patient with my Lesta. If I can get you to come all the way around here and shoot at this is where I want you to shoot at, okay? We're both going to be trying to be at this angle right here. It's going to be a little fun with my fingers and everything. Okay, so this, right now I'm just sewing the binding on. I'm going straight right here. And this is a bias binding. So bias binding is cut on the angle, and that gives you the stretch that you're going to need to go around the corner. You can't do the corners and without a bias binding and have them, ooh, you can tell I messed up on the binding there too. I'm going to have to adjust for that. And have them not pucker. So you do have to make sure that it's a bias cut binding that you're putting on. Okay, you can stay where you are. I can reach underneath you. Thank you. I need my trusty purple thing. I'm going to come up here. And I have my needle position down. So when I just turned it down, so that's why it's still up. But that way when I stop and let it rest, if I have to lift the foot up to let the fabric rest underneath it, the needle will hold my position in place. Okay, now this is the trickiest part for me is I have to adjust to what I think 1/4 inch is from here to here. I can't use my little plate right here telling where I am while I'm going around the corner. So did you see how I came in? And it looks like there's a little pleat right here, but there's not. And just maneuvered it out. I hope you could have seen that. Put the foot back down. And you just go really slow. And you don't want to stretch one piece of your binding. You have to keep it both pieces, and you don't really want to stretch it. You just kind of want to, I say you don't want to stretch it, and then the next thing I'm going to say is you want to gently stretch it around here. Not really stretch it, you're just kind of maneuvering it around. So here we go, we're going around. You see it looks like I got a pucker right here. Right here. Okay, so I'm going to stop with my needle down, lift my foot up, shake it out a little bit. You don't want to shake it out too much because you'll end up pushing everything this way and then you will have problems. It's still in there. So I'll take the purple thing. There you go. And the purple thing is just allowing me a finger right up here inside my walking foot, because my finger won't fit, nor would I want my finger in there. And you keep coming around. And again, you're trying to make sure that the space from here to here is 1/4 of an inch, and I know I'm a little bit far on it right now, but I could adjust that. And I come around the corner, and then I'm going to go straight. Notice that I was going slow around those corners too. Okay, I'm getting ready to come in again. I even have a seam right here and here, and my seam has been pressed open to keep the bulk down, and it works the same way. You just keep going around. You know, you have to be a little more patient when you have the thicker seam. Needle down, stop. Hold it in place. And I'm not pulling on it. I'm just gently lying it around and telling the edge to stretch maybe a little bit right there. Come around. One more. Whoops, I'm getting a little thick. And if you get a little thick, you're going to have more bunch up in here too. And I am using a 1/4 inch seam. I'm shooting for a 1/4 inch seam. So I'm going to maneuver that out. This is when it works to have that extra hands-free thing that lifts your foot for you too, so you have extra hands to hold everything. Come around. And then I would be at the end right here, because you can see I have my tails. Back off. Needle up. Let's see how I did. Okay. No pleats. No pleats. No pleats. You flip them over, and then you would top stitch them down. And in case you're wondering what I would do on my tail back here, I would do it just the same as I always did. I'm not going to demo this for you. This is a very small space, but again, I would lay it over. This is 2.5 inches. I would make sure that it overlapped 2.5 inches, cut it, sew it on the diagonal. You have to pin it, and it's really hard when this is all the more space you have, but patience. I say it's really hard. It's not really hard. It takes extra time to do it. So I will be seeing you on the 19th next week. And you guys have a great week until then. And come see us either in person or online. Have a great one.